official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hallo und guten Morgen, guten Tag und guten Abend an alle unsere Zuschauer und Zuhörer hier auf INCRadio Zentraleuropa Satellitenstudio. Ich bin Alessandra und freue mich, heute euer Host zu sein. Hello and good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all our dear viewers and listeners here on INCRadio Central Europe Satellite Studio. My name is Alessandra and I'm one of your hosts for today. And with me tonight is my lovely co-host all the way from the Netherlands. Hi.
Hi, Ali, and hello to all of our listeners and viewers tuning in tonight for our broadcast. My name is Joanna May Santiago, all the way from Amsterdam, the Netherlands.
Okay, quick time check. It is now 7:01 p.m. here in Germany. And for tonight's broadcast, we invited a few guests, or two guests, to discuss with us a special topic for tonight, which is all about the role of friendships. Now, Joanna, would you like to introduce them to us, please?
Yes, Ali. So, with our topic conversation, the role of friendship in life transitions, we invited two guests coming from Germany as well, all the way from Berlin. Hello, Mario.
Good evening. My name is Mario Calvillo from Berlin. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Mario. And all the way from Heidelberg, I believe, Bradley.
Good evening, sister. How are you? Thank you for inviting me this evening.
Thank you so much for taking your time to join us here on INCRadio tonight. And to jumpstart tonight's broadcast, let's play an icebreaker game called Would You Rather? And we will show you slides with two options you can choose from, and then you explain why you chose that. Okay, yes, clear tech. Next slide, please. Would you rather have one lifelong best friend or a wide circle of supportive friends? And of course, to our dear viewers and listeners, feel free to join us as well in our game. Just type your answers in the live chat. Okay, would you rather? Let's start with Bradley.
I would rather have just one lifelong close friend.
And why is that?
Because having too many, you can only call one person at a time when I want to spread news or say hi or congratulations or happy birthday, instead of calling 20 people to say happy birthday.
Okay, that's a very, very valid point. Thank you. How about you, Mario? Would you rather have one lifelong best friend or many friends, but who are you are very close with?
For me, I think the same like what Bradley said. I'd rather bring just one person, my best friend, and that's it.
Okay, that's also a very valid point. How about you, Joanna? What would you choose?
I agree with the both of them. I would also choose a smaller circle because I'm an introvert, but I agree with Bradley's point that for example, you have to greet someone's birthday. You don't need to like greet everyone, just a small and a compact friendship. How about you, Ali?
I must say, I actually agree. I also would rather have one lifelong friend whom I can rely on most of the times and not have too many friends. For the same reasons as everyone else. Thank you. Okay, next slide, Kitek. Would you rather have deep, heart-to-heart conversation or have fun, lighthearted moments with friends? Okay, let's start with Mario this time.
Well, for me, it's the second one. I'm not very dramatic person. It's better to have a conversation with fun. So, life is difficult already. So I think it's better to have fun.
That is very true and a very, very valid reason. How about you, Bradley? What would you rather do or have?
I agree with Brother Mario. I would like to have fun because I have my significant other for heart-to-heart conversations.
How about you, Sister Joanna?
I feel attacked. Because for me, I would rather choose having heart to heart talks, because I'm more of a how do you call that? I prefer like talking to someone like really to a deep conversation, rather than having light conversations with group of people. But yeah, I prefer like a closer conversation and a heart to heart talk. But yeah, I know it's life is already difficult. I don't it's not being dramatic. How about you, Ali?
I'm actually splitted. I do not know what I would rather have. And I have a few comments who are actually the same. I have one from Marge Bakian. She says, depends, but deep heart to heart convos, hashtag Berlin. And another comment from Irene Juliet Calvelo, deep conversation with lots of fun, hashtag Berlin. So I'm also in between the two. Does that count? Okay, can you take next slide, please? Would you rather have a friend who always gives great advice or one who's always ready for an adventure? Okay, a very tricky question. Let's start with Bradley this time.
I would say the first one with advice, because that way I can keep more on track from the trickiness.
Okay. How about you, Mario?
Well, actually, I don't know why we have the same thought with Bradley. I'm also the first one, because we need someone who will advise you. We are not perfect. We make mistake every day in our life. So you need someone really watching you, that will correct you. Whatever. I mean, if you made mistake, there's always someone behind you.
Okay, so we have two options already, or one option for two. You get what I mean. How about you, sister? How about you, Joanna? What would you rather have?
For me, Ali, it's 50-50, because someone told me I'm a serious person, but I really appreciate people giving me advice. But people knowing that I'm a serious person, I wanted to like put a little bit of fun in my life. So kind of adventure, and then also on the other side, people giving me advice. So how about you, Kali?
I actually would rather have a friend who gives really great advice. Simply because I'm describing my friends. All of my friends give me very, very great advice. So I would rather have keep my friends who give me great advice already. And I have a comment from Lei, and they said, I would rather have someone to have who is ready for adventure. Hashtag Berlin, hashtag MySem. Okay, so it's very splitted. Thank you for that. Could you take next slide, please? Okay. Would you rather reconnect with an old friend from school or make a new friend in your career or family life? Ooh, this is interesting. I can see Bradley's face already. Would you want to start, Bradley?
Since I've been to a few family reunion, I mean, few class reunions, and I already saw the past. I would rather say new adventure.
Okay, that's a very valid reason, actually. How about you, Mario? Are you the same opinion, or do you have another opinion?
Well, I think the first one is fun. Yeah, because those my old friends and old classmates during high school time, I'm always thinking how they look like now. Are they the same like me? No more hair, or it's really fun. The thing is, I don't see them for three, 30 years or more, so it's good to be connected to them again. Maybe some of them, they have never no more teeth, or I don't know, but it's a really a great fun.
Well, that's actually very valid as well. It's nice to have both. And I have actually a comment from Linda Calvello. She said, keep the old friend and nice to have new friends too. Hashtag Berlin, hashtag Meissen. Do you agree on that, Joanna?
Oh, coming from both of their answers, from Mario and Bradley's answers, Ali, for me, I'd rather make new friends so that when I get to their age, I mean, no offense here, guys. So then when I get to their age, I would then choose to meet and then get back and then get together with my old friends. So for now, while I'm still young, I would rather choose to meet and make new friends. How about you, Ali? Is it the same?
Kind of, but also I mean, I have a lot of friends already who I want to keep in my life already. So I'm torn again, but I think that counts. Okay. And with that, thank you so much for participating in our very fun icebreaker game. I hope all of you enjoyed. And you already, to our listeners and viewers, you already had a glimpse of our topic for tonight, because we will explore a topic that touches all of us at various stages in our lives, especially the role of friendship during life transitions. Whether it's moving to a new city, starting a new job, or navigating major milestones in our lives, friendship can be a guide or a comfort for everyone. And we will discuss with our two guests who have navigated their own transitions, and they will share their personal stories that highlight the power of connection and how friendship can serve as both a lifeline and a source of joy. Now, let's start with the first question I have for Mario. How has your friendship circle changed since you moved to a new city, or changed careers, or even started a family?
Well, for me, my friendship circle changed. Two things. First, when I started a family, because before I met my friends 7 days a week. But when I started a family, especially when my firstborn child born, changed totally different. In a way, before that, I told them that if that happened, they should be understand that what I expect from them. So you know, I saw them maybe twice, 3 times a week, not like before, or maybe once, because you have to spend your most of your time with your child, with your family. And secondly, when I moved to new city from Bonn to Berlin, I still remember I was really afraid because I have a lot of friends in Bonn, and then I don't know really exactly what I will, you know, who will I meet in Berlin, new friends. But of course, it's not really a big struggling because we keep contact with my friends in Bonn that time through telephone or text. So for me, also the big change when I started my when I started a family, it's a really big change for me.
That's a very, very great perspective of friendships, especially you mentioned, Mario, that you not only started a family, and with starting a family, of course, your priorities change and maybe you have different values compared to your friends who don't have a family yet. And you also move to a different city, which also makes it hard, or not really hard, but has some challenges to it, especially when you used to see your friends almost every day. I want to ask also Bradley, how has your friendship circle changed since you moved to a new city or changed careers maybe, or even started a family?
For me, the circle of friends changed frequently because being in the military for 20 years, whether it was in the US or the Middle East or abroad, it constantly changed every few years. And I was actually, honestly, I was actually nervous when I was offered the opportunity to come to here to Germany. I'm like, well, first I'd have to see if there's a church. And then I found the Heidelberg locale. I'm like, oh, let me see if I can reach out to someone there. So thanks to Brother Jerry Bartolome, the head deacon, that he made it very comfortable and a very smooth transition when I was moving here from Hawaii to the Middle East to Germany after retiring from the military.
That's a very different perspective from the one Mario had. You moved, I believe it's because of your work. You had to move to various countries in a few years. And with that also comes challenges, especially since being like finding new friends in those with the same values in those cities and trying to keep contact with them when you have to move again. What do you think defines a true friend during tough times, especially when you have to move again, Bradley?
A true friend, a true friend I define as someone that will always be there to good times and bad times, and they won't be, in the military, we have a lot of friends that will come and go, and they'll only be there because of what you have or because of the influence you have. But true friends in the Church of Christ will always be by your side, especially during when you're facing difficult tribulations in your life. So I would say that's where my true friends lie, in the Church of Christ.
Yes, I totally agree because my friends, I know I'm speaking from experience. My friends are also, or most of my friends are also in the church, and we share the same values. So it's a lot easier for us to connect. Um, Thank you so much, Bradley. So, Joanna, how about you? I know you have moved a lot as well in the past years. How has your friendship circles changed since you moved to a city or changed careers maybe?
So yes, Ali, it was my first time moving out of the house, moving out of the country. And yes, almost 2 years ago, I moved to Europe, and that definitely changed my friendships. And I've met a lot of people from different backgrounds, culture, especially through church. And I formed a lot of meaningful connections. And just like what you said, I have also a lot of friends from the church, which I can relate to because we have the same values. But while some of my friendships from home have remained strong, considering the distance and the time zone, I've also learned to appreciate new friendships, especially here inside the Church of Christ. And even though I'm gonna move to another city again or whatever in the next few months or years, each connection actually has helped me grow in different ways.
Yes, I can see that. And you even have a twin. They commented from Irene Juliet Calvello. You are really my twin, Joanna. Hashtag Berlin. Thank you so much, Joanna, for that. Um, everyone must mention that with like life changes or um, just having different milestones in life comes different kinds of challenges. And with Mario, you mentioned earlier that you started a family and you moved to a new city. What challenges did you face in maintaining friendships during those major life shifts, and how did you overcome them?
For me, Eliza, because from the beginning I told them what I expect from them, so they really understand. Especially when I started a family, that I could not spend my time with them. I mean, it's already limited that I will spend time with them. But I try all my best to keep contact with them at least 3 times a week, just to text them, "Hello, how are you? Everything okay?" It's not really difficult because the thing is, they are good friends. They understand your situation. You know. Well, anyway, because I have a lot of friends, they text me almost every day just to say hello, especially when I moved to a new city. And then, yeah, well, I miss them, but the thing is, you have to keep going with your new life in the new city. And because anyway, we are in a good in a modern technology that you can reach them anytime.
That is so sweet, Mario, because hearing that your friends message you almost like every day, that's actually sweet of them to like ask you how you're doing. And what you've said that they still message you or meet up with you 3 to 4 times a week, that's still actually considerate, even though you're far, or you have your own lives and you have your own priorities. It's actually great that they understood, especially that you have your own family, they have their own family, and your own priorities, but still you have your friendship staying strong. So how about you, Bradley? What challenges did you face in maintaining friendships during major life shifts, and how did you overcome them, especially moving around cities to cities?
Yes, yes, sister. I had many life challenges, especially since I was a 10-year Bible student because of the military that kept moving me around from Hawaii to Las Vegas to Okinawa, where I finally got baptized. Circle of friends in the military, I had to, it was challenging because they were more worldly and live by the world. And, the challenge was I had to abstain from following in their footsteps and keeping on track with the true Church of Christ teachings. And sometimes I had to turn down going to activities where there would be beverages or partying or drinking or promotions. And they would call me old fashioned and boring, but I mean, it's the way of God, it's true way of the true church of members. So being stronger in faith was what much more important, even though it's frowned upon.
That is indeed challenging, but it's great to hear that you were able to overcome 10 years. Like, congratulations. But then, yeah, like what you said, following God's will and then walking through the path that He really wants us to do and walk through, it is really it is it I feel happy and also grateful to have to have you here inside the Church of Christ with us, because you were able to surpass all those challenges, 10 years, and like what you said, how other people, especially the people in your work area, how they live their life, and you still were able to live the way, the teachings inside the Church of Christ, how God wants us to live our lives. So that is really great, and God gives us the friends that we really are to treasure. And I'm really happy that you were able to find a lot of great friends and also families there in Heidelberg, Germany. But I wanted to ask sister I wanted to ask Ali, how about you? What challenges did you face in maintaining your friendships during major life shifts, and how did you overcome them?
To be honest, it was hard to actually maintain the friendship, or like to maintain contact actually was the hard thing. But maintaining the friendship was easy because you know that you already are friends and that you connect on a deep level already and that you share the same values. And that is what built my friendships. knowing that regardless of major life events that goes in my life or that goes through the life of my friends, it won't change our friendship. And that's like the challenge, despite me having to deal with my life and them having to deal with their life. You still find ways to connect, and that is kind of the challenge, to find the time to stay connected. That's how I would define it. And with I'm curious because Bradley, you mentioned that you because you have been moving around because of your work, it was hard for you to also it was you were in a Bible student for 10 years, no? And that makes you kind of vulnerable as well to friendships. um, how do you think vulnerability plays a role in friendships during times of changes, especially in your case, since you were a Bible student and you were still surrounded with maybe friends who had other values than you?
At times it was very difficult. As I moved to each location, I did have to repeat the lessons, which I agree, because sometimes when you move from, say, when I started in Waipau, Hawaii, to Nevada, Las Vegas, we repeated the lessons with Brother Roger there. It helped me bring back the actual lessons clearly in my mind, and it was difficult sometimes to abstain from going with the other folks as far as in the military when they would go here and there, and me being the only one in my family as a true member. Even though I invite my friends, even though I invite my family, they're coming from different backgrounds, especially with the Japanese descendants being Buddhist. It made it very challenging, but I'm glad I was able to make it through with the help of the brethren and the help of the ministers. They helped me through walking a straight path.
That is very nice to hear. And I'm also glad for you and happy for you, Bradley. Thank you so much for sharing. Um, Now, going back to Mario, I know that you have different life changes compared to Bradley. Um, you mentioned earlier that you started a family and that you moved to a new city. How have you noticed any shifts in the way you connect with friends over time? And how have your friendships evolved?
Well, my friendship with them has not really changed a lot, but the changes really a lot. Uh, my time with them, because I cannot really commit myself to them. I cannot spend many times with them. Even uh, they invited me to something that like bonding, but I give more priority with my family. But I still, I mean, I keep telling them that they should understand the situation. It is not like before and now. So I mean, the challenge is really sometimes you have to always explain yourself to them, because it's not like before that you just only for yourself, but now it's different, especially when you have children that you have to look after.
That's really nice to hear, Mario, because you have friends that are really understanding. And even though time passes and you have your own lives, you have your own families, still your friends are understanding. And then, like what you said, with the technology now, you can just tell them through a text or a message through the internet that um, I have priorities with my family, but then um, even though time passes and even though you don't have any contact for a few days or a few weeks, by the time you get to see them again, I know you would feel excited as well, because it's been a long time since you've seen them, but the friendship didn't end because you lost contact or you stopped talking to them for a while. And that's actually a nice characteristic of a true and a great friend. So I hope your friendship continues the way it goes, how it is right now. How about you, Ali? Have you noticed any shifts in the way you connect with friends over time, and have your friendship evolved?
I did, but before I answer that question, there is actually a comment very fitting to what Mario mentioned. It's from Gerd Liman. The true friends you learn to know if you're in are hard times in your life, but then you have to hold the friendship until the end of your life. Best regards from Brother Gerd from Lokal of Berlin. Berlin, Meissen. Thank you so much for your comments. And back to the question, Johanna. Yes, I have noticed a lot of shifts in the way I connect with friends over time, mainly because I'm still young and I am adulting in the sense like it's I'm starting to work, I have different schedules now. When I compare it to when I was still back in school or back in high school, I used to be with my friends almost 24/7. I used to be with them in school, after school. I would call them when I'm at home, or we would do homework together. And now it's different because I have a different work than they do. I have a different schedule than they do. And that is the way I connect with my friends, still accepting each other's differences, regardless of the similarities that we shared before, no, with when it comes to bonding with them. And over time, that's how our friendship just evolved. We just kind of grow together and face adulthood together. Do you agree, Joanna? I see your face.
I totally agree, definitely, with the adulting thing. Because me as well, my friendship also evolved because I live in my own bubble and I lived my life just at home, and it was my first time moving out. And I used to think that friendships needed to have like constant interaction, but now eventually I learned to value depth and sincerity in friendships more. And I also learned to appreciate the friendships for what they are, even though we're far away, even though time zones is like in the middle. And yeah, I learned to appreciate the friendship without forcing anything to fit into the into the friendship with my expectations, because I know we have our own differences. We also have our similarities, but then that's how true friendships comes in, if you try to understand and communicate with each other.
Yes, I totally agree on that. And the comments actually agree and also have very, very nice advice for us all. I have a comment here from Apple Rose. She said, when I moved here in Germany, I stayed in touch with friends through regular phone calls and video chats when I have time, even if it was just to share little updates. And another comment from Kenjin Limonao. She commented on the point Bradley mentioned earlier. Inspiring point, Bradley, one has to stand firm in terms of peer pressure. It's a choice to choose the right path. #Berlin, #Meissen. Another comment from Rachel Inocencio. Moving here, coming from Hawaii, we've met a lot of church friends who we have become close with, bonding and helping one another as brothers and sisters in the church. #Heidelberg Cluster. Another comment from Henry Inocencio. Friendships are a lot easier and meaningful when older, after seeing the bigger picture of life and understanding one's own values more. It's easier to find and feel sincere people and connections. It's a very nice comment. Another comment from Irene Juliet Calvelo. She said, nothing has changed. We are still connected because I cherish them. or my friends. I fight for our friendship even by a simple text message or a short call. Hashtag Berlin. And another comment from Marge Bakian. One good thing being a member of the Church of Christ is you have friends you know you can already trust and rely on. Hashtag Berlin, hashtag Meissen. Thank you so much for your comments, and thank you so much to Bradley and Mario and Joanna for sharing your points of views. But before we continue, we will first take a quick station break. We will be right back here on INCRadio Central Europe.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello po, ako po si Ate Maisel at ngayong Lunes, samahan niyo po kami dito sa Like and Share. Masarap, malutong at puno ng lasa, ang tuna sisig na ito ay dapat subukan. Karaniwang materyales, gawin nating isang magandang lalagyan ng alahas. Naghahanap ka ba ng masarap at masustansyang pagkain? Subukan ang mabilis at madaling lutuin na stir-fried tofu. At sa episode na ito ay ating mapapanood ang mga vlogs mula sa distrito ng Cabanatuan City, Nueva Ecija. Kaya samahan niyo po kami ngayong Lunes dito sa Like and Share, February 3, 2025 at 2 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Dito lamang yan sa INCRadio.
Your Spotify playlist just got more exciting and inspiring because the INC Original Music is now on Spotify. Search up INC Original Music and discover songs about our faith and love, songs for our family and friends, songs full of hope, songs that keep us going. Add them all up to your favorite Spotify playlist. You can explore uplifting INC Original Music in a variety of styles and genres. Share your INC Original Music playlist to your friends. It's now even easier to share our faith and much easier to uplift ourselves and others through Christian music. INC Original Music, now available on Spotify.
Hello, hello, and welcome back to INC Radio Central Europe. I am your host and my host, Ali. I'm your host, Joanna, and welcome back to our broadcast for tonight. And for those who just tuned in for our broadcast, our topic for tonight is the role of friendship in life transitions from school to career to family. Please continue to comment on our live chat and interact with us. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So before we continue with our topic conversation for tonight, we have a segment of Food of the Week. So don't go away and please Kuya Tech.
Third place, Heidelberg Cluster. Second place, Netherlands Cluster. First place, Berlin Cluster.
Okay, congratulations to all of our winners. That was supposed to be a surprise, but it's okay. Make sure to congrats first of all to all of our winners for last week's challenge. To all our viewers and listeners, continue sharing your comments in the YouTube live chat with the hashtag #YourCluster for you to have the chance to win this week's cluster challenge. And while the broadcast is still going, you still have the chance to win this week's challenge. And moving on, we have another segment. It's actually CFO in action. And in the last week, we had many CFO activities, and we want to report them or showcase them to you, Kuya Tech. You see here, medical mission in the locale of Munich. Next slide, please. You can see here the brethren who have undergone blood pressure monitoring led by our nurses in the locale of Munich so that they could also oh, oh, be aware of their health. And moving on, we have a neighborhood appreciation day in the locale of Dordrecht, the Netherlands. And here they not only appreciated their friends and families already, but those even who walked in or walked by the chapel, and they showcased their appreciation, and they gave out free tea and coffee, and also pamphlets to not only show appreciation to them, but also bring our faith closer to them. And another activity, this one is from the Kadiwa Photography Seminar, and this was district-wide. And here our Brother Troyes led us in this activity. And here he just showed us how to or basic knowledge about capturing moments with a camera. And the last activity is Mr. and Mrs. Chef. This was also district-wide, and you can see here, this was in the local of Frankfurt, Germany. The brethren or the book club members or the married members showcasing their prepared meals. And this one is from the local of Dordrecht. This one is from the local of Berlin. Oh, I see Brother Mario. We love to see all the participation, all the brethren. You can see next up is the locale of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. This one is also the locale of Rotterdam with the brethren showing their prepared meals. This is Amsterdam. No, it's Rotterdam as well. Thank you so much for sharing those activities, and we're all looking forward for the next activities the next coming weeks. Now, moving back to our conversation, which was all about friendships and maintaining friendships in life challenges or life transitions. I want to ask, because it's not easy, as we have heard earlier, that with life challenges come also challenges in friendships, and that's why I want to ask Bradley, what advice would you give to someone struggling to stay close to their friends during big life changes?
My advice would be, me being the only one from my family for the Church of Christ. Stay strong, pray, and stay on path. Even though it may be difficult at times, a true friend will stay by your side, and always pray with you, and always pray and stay in the faith, even if others may be against the teachings. And you will always find those in your church that will support you 100%.
Indeed, Bradley, that's a lot of people can relate to that. And with your advice, us from the younger generations will actually, those, especially us that are coming or traveling in a lot of places like you, even considering with work or other activities in life, we learn to like appreciate our friendships with intentions. So how about you, Mario? um, what advice would you give to someone struggling to stay close to their friends um, during big life challenges?
Well, so the advice that I can give is like we keep connected to each other, whatever the difficulties that we face. You know, we are now in the modern technology, so we can use this modern technology to reach them anytime. It is not like before you reach your best friend or your friend through letter. Now it's very quick. You know, it's also important understanding. like what happened to me, that sometimes I have no time to answer their texts because of the nature of my work. But they do understand because they are really a good friends, you know. And that's why I'm trying. You know, we should keep our good friends who are always behind us. Whatever what happened, especially those our friends in the church, they are most valuable because you like what you mentioned, that you can trust them anytime. You can ask help from them. They can advise you anytime. So I think we should keep connected, whatever.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Mario, on that. And I have a comment from Marge Bakian. She says, friendships aren't forced, genuine ones just happen. Hashtag Berlin, hashtag Meissen. And you mentioned already lessons that you have learned, no? Especially with friends, or with your nature of work, not having a lot of time for your friends or being busy all the time, but we all go through that. I want to also ask Bradley, because you have a different life challenges compared to Mario. What lessons have you learned about friendship through your own life transitions?
Lessons that I've learned is even though people may be doing things that are not against the teachings, even though your family may not be a part of the church, always pray, always stay on track. Don't fall to the worldly desires that they may do, whether it be partying, drinking, or gambling. Stay on path and stay strong in your faith, and you will always find true friends within the Church of Christ.
Yes, I also agree with you on that, Bradley. And I also have a fitting comment for that from Rachel Inocencio. She says, true friends will continue to be there for you, help you, and give you great advice, no matter the distance. I also want to ask Joanna, because I know we're in a different life level or life state. We are that compared to Bradley and Mario. What lessons have you learned about friendship through your own life transitions already?
Thank you for that wonderful question, Ali. But yes, I learned a lot of things, and that I learned that distance and life changes actually don't have to mean the end of friendship, especially with the time zone. I have to like schedule a call with my best friend. I have to be like awake at this kind of hour, or she has to be like awake on that kind of hour. And yeah, 7 hours difference, and also with my family. And yeah, I learned that it means with these challenges, I have to adapt to new ways of connecting to people, and also cherish the people who make the effort. And I should not be afraid to open myself to new friendships as well. And yeah, I learned to allow friendships to evolve naturally without expecting a lot of things from people. So yeah, I I learned that every person that we meet adds something to our lives, and adds something very valuable to our journey. How about you, Ali?
I agree with all of you, and I have another fitting comment for that, Joanna. It's from Marge Bakian again. As we mature, true friendships evolve with deeper connections. Hashtag Berlin, hashtag Meissen. And it's it really is different for everyone, because we all live different lives, but we all live at the same time. So it still is a challenge, and that is the lesson we learn from all of that is to really just be patient with each other, because like I know I have my challenges, I have my work, I have my schedule, and my friends also have that, and other friends have that as well. And it's the same with everyone, I believe, all of us being busy with work, all of us being busy maybe with family or with our studies. It's really just really appreciating your friendships that you have, and how brother and how Bradley mentioned earlier, praying is really the best thing that you could do to maintain a friendship. And that sums up our topic for tonight. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and your stories with us, Bradley and Mario, and also Joanna. Thank you so much. And looking at the time, Joanna, what time is it?
It's shout out time. So, yes, please, I'm giving the floor first to Mario, to whoever you wanted to shout out for tonight.
Thank you, Sister Joanna. Greetings to my family, Linda Calbelo, Irene Calbelo, Troyes, and Hendricks, and greetings to all Berliners and Meiseners. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Mario. And Bradley, it's your turn.
I'd like to say shout out to my son Elijah, who's a ministerial worker assigned in Ohio, District of Chicago. My son Brennan, who's going to college at Holy Angel University in the Philippines, and all my family here in Heidelberg, and most especially to our district minister and the church administration. Shout out and thank you for all the blessings.
Thank you so much. And shout out to everyone. Joanna, who do you want to shout out?
Thank you, Ali. So shout out, of course, to my to all of my family there in the local congregation of Amsterdam, especially the choir family and the secretariat family. And I want to take this chance to greet Sister Fiona Shilman a happy birthday. And yes, shout out to Brother Jason Delalas and the whole family, and Brother Christian Reynoso and whole family. Brother Jed and Sister Celine, it was nice seeing you both today. And yes, to my family back home in the Philippines, in Baguio City, hello to everyone. Thank you, Sister Ali.
A shout out to everyone mentioned po. And I also want to shout out, of course, Bradley, Joanna, and Mario. And shout out also and a big thank you to all our viewers and listeners for watching tonight's broadcast. We also want to thank our district CFO advisor, Brother Scott Agustin, and thank you to our assistant district minister, Brother Jason Dulalas, and thank you to our district minister, Brother Joel B. Catalan. We also want to extend our thanks to our INC Media Production Chief, Brother Montreville Boy, and to our INC Radio Station Manager, Brother Wally Taray. Thank you also to our CFO Coordinator and CEBSI President, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo. And lastly, thank you to the church administration and our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Once again, we thank you for watching INC Radio Central Europe tonight. We hope to see you again soon.
We are presenting the Iglesia ni Cristo Sign Language Guide, Android and iOS version. We gladly introduce the new interface of our INC Sign Language Guide, Android, and the much-awaited iOS version. The